What's up, everybody? Welcome to another reading with the Crown Priestess. We are going to do a collective reading this morning. Ooh, the channels are coming in already. There's like a wave of information coming in as of late for the collective, especially people who are spiritually inclined. Some of you can be taking a blood test this week, drawing blood or donating blood. There's something about the blood here being tested. Some of you can be doing like a DNA test and you'll be shocked at your results. What I've been learning about that is that, right, first of all, DNA is very unique, to the person. Like it breaks down to literally millions and millions and billions of code. What they look for essentially is just a pattern in that code that kind of identifies who you are, because there's almost no way to truly get down to the nitty-gritty of every aspect of your DNA. But anyway, you could be really surprised if you're doing like a DNA test or something. You could be really surprised, or if you're researching this, you can be shocked to learn like things about your lineage, about your culture, like, about where you come from as far as like what you have descended from. It may shock you. Like, what I've learned, like I said, is that as well, like predominantly O negative and O positive blood types, like O blood types are predominantly the oldest, like first people. So they are rooted in a lot of African and indigenous ancestry. It's mostly people with that lineage, that come from that background, that have O blood types. I think B blood types are predominantly Asian, especially in like northern, like India and stuff like that. Predominantly Asia though is the B blood type. If you're the A blood type, I don't want to scare you. I'm joking. But no, there's so many facets to collect when you're talking about DNA, but I don't know why that's important today. It could just be, like I said, a reference to you unveiling some sort of secret from your ancestry, your past, your lineage, okay? Especially your bloodline lineage, like the people who made you, like the actual relatives that had a baby, who had a baby, who had a baby, who had a baby. Okay, something like that is really important. Oh, I think the message is going to be mad spiritual. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. This is like somebody finding out that they were adopted or something. Not that that's not funny. I'm not trying to make a joke of it. But it's like, right? Pluto transformation. We talked about Pluto yesterday quite a lot. Check out those readings. This is like a haunted past, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, or it's haunted because it's like everything I knew was a lie. Like, I'm getting that energy from it. Like everything I thought I was, I'm not. It's like years ago when I found out that my father's last name wasn't his last name. He was given that last name because he came from, obviously, a time where, we were still freshly brainwashed by our conquerors and, and societal standards and things like that. And basically, long story short, my grandmother, she had my father out of wedlock, right? And with a man that she did love and care for. But when she did end up marrying, she had already had my father, and her new husband made her give all her children his last name. That's how it was done back then. It's like, even if she had children from a previous marriage, from a previous relationship, you had to give all your children the new husband's name, because nobody wanted to be, deemed a bastard or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I don't know how it goes. Whatever. Man, the times are crazy. But, and last names are actually just like a joke. When you really, like, indigenous people, like old traditional indigenous people we don't have last names. Like it's just your given name and that's it. You know, not last names, that thing became prevalent to status and society and, you know, like for your legacy to be remembered, so to speak, as a unit, like as a house. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, like when I found that out, I was like, what? I'm like, so I just walking around with a name that's not even mine. It actually pissed me off. You know, that's my wokeness immediately. I'm like, why the fuck would I have a name? So not only did my father get a name that wasn't his, but then my mother married into the name that wasn't his. And then I had the name that wasn't his. And it's like, what the fuck's going on? Stupid. I honestly wanted to change it, but I know the process that goes through to change your name legally. So I was like, fuck it. It'll just change when I get married. And hopefully whoever my husband is, that's his fucking name. And it makes sense that I take it on. But it could be something like that. It's like, you know, enough about me. It's that like you're finding out something that, yeah, it's coming to light. Something that was like buried coming to light, like about where it may cause you to like detach. Yo, look at this. Look at the cards. Detach from family, detach from home, detach from commitment, etc. I think it's a family thing though for most of you. A group, whatever, however it resonates. You're waking up to the truth about, you know, the information that has been long kept from you. You know, it's like I said, it's like finding out that you were an orphan. Like you've been raised by this family all your life and they're a great family. You don't resent them, you don't whatever, but oh, you're not my mom. Oh, I'm not, you know, Puerto Rican. I'm not Dominican. I'm not whatever. I don't even know. Am I? Because I'm growing up with y'all knowing all of this, but you just told me that you adopted me when I was 2. And like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? Something like that is happening. All right, let's get deeper about this truth, this hidden knowledge, this, you know, I don't know if this is like a cryptic message that's supposed to symbolize something else, or if they're keeping it sort of cryptic so that it can resonate with many storylines. Spirit do shit how they want to. I don't rule them niggas. They do what they want. Look at how they talk to me. I be knowing. So do you, collective. Ace of Cups. You have an ancestor that is like really, really proud of you, really impressed with you, really love you. Like they love you a lot. I think it's one that you don't even realize. So I'm talking to somebody who, you believe in your ancestors, you believe in the spirit realm, you believe in all those things. You may have even tapped into this, but you've ignored this spirit, this entity, this ancestor specifically. I don't think you recognize them or know who they are, but it's no fault of yours. It's because, like I said, you don't know where your lineage goes back to. It's like you... Right. Like I remember when my grandfather first came to me from my father's side and I didn't know who he was. Mind you, at this time, I was like 14 years old. I went to visit my dad in Philadelphia. You know, he was telling me the story about how that wasn't his name and who his father was and all the things. But when I was in his room, like I was in my dad's room, just like looking around, being a kid, right? Being nosy. And I like sat on his bed and like his wardrobe was across from the bed. And I can see this really tall man. He was dark skinned, a black man, right? And he was like in a janitor suit, like a Dickie suit or something, but it was green. It was like a green color. And he was like smiling at me, but like sad, like, you know, like proud, sad, missing. Like I felt the longing from him, and he was like crying and he was like trying to wipe his tears because I'm a man energy. And I remember describing him to my father, and my father just broke out crying because I never met my grandfather from my father's side. And it was really like the description, like to the letter. I'm like, he was tall, he had dark brown skin, you know, he had a short haircut. He was wearing like a suit, like if he cleans or something, like he looked like, you know, I don't know if it was like a jail suit or whatever. I'm like, it looked like, you know, like kind of like a Dickie or a Carhartt setup, but it was like a green, like a weird green color. Not like an army green, but not like a bright green. It was just like a different kind of green, you know, like a doctor green or a nurse green, like the scrubs, how they be looking. And my father just bust out crying, like literally bust out crying. And he was like, that's my father. Like, and I never met him. I never met him. He died before I was born. So I say all of that to say, there is an ancestor trying to, this ancestor is already helping you. They're already involved. They're already on top of, you know, things, but you don't recognize them. And now I think they're doing something, or they're trying to make it so that you can recognize them, so that you do know them, know their name. Like they want you to know who they are. Like they need you to know who they are, because knowing who they are will somehow help you know who you are and know what your next steps are and what they should be. You know what's mad funny? Now I'm saying it again. Y'all, my son has an obsession with cleaning. Like, he loves brooms. And now that when I really get into it, my father's father, he explained to me, was a porter. He worked he was a super. He worked in the buildings. Okay, moving forward. Not me waking up my own shit. It resonates with me, y'all. Like, readings don't always resonate with me, but this one resonates with me. All right, more about you guys. This ancestor wants to bring you stability and abundance, okay? And they've been doing it. Look at the 10 of cups at the bottom. Wow. Wow. The two best 10s to have. 10, 10. 10 of pentacles, 10 of cups, ace of cups, high priestess. But with this 4 of cups, it's like you don't see them. Like I said, you're ignoring it, or you're ignoring what they're trying to give you. And they don't want you to ignore it anymore. You're going to have to step it up. I don't know how you're going to do this. Like I said, it's going to happen differently for everybody. Maybe you find out your family's not your family. Your name is not your name. Your blood, you know, type is teaching you something different. You know, something where you're investigating and you fall upon this lost information, this lost truth, right? It's like a lost truth. And you're like, holy shit. You can find out that your family was, you know, they were voyagers. They were witches. They were all, you know, star seeds or whatever. However, like, it can go, it can be so many things. But they are bringing in a really powerful blessing for your life. But it's like they want recognition for it. It's like this person is tired of working in the shadows, you know, like they want to be seen. That was the sun when I showed you before earlier, when I said something about in the dark coming to the light, and it was like a dark card and the sun card. It's that. It's like they want to be seen now. They want to be venerated. Oh. Yeah, the worlds. This will happen. 6 of candles and the world card. That's a great accomplishment. This is like a very grand gesture. You know, it's going to be really important for you. And I feel like it's not just you getting recognition and you know, a compliment, you know, accomplishing things and getting accolades. And I hear applause for you almost. But also it's big recognition for your ancestor, for this spirit, you know, that's helping you. I think they've done a lot of fucking work, you know, to get you to the world card. They've actually done a lot of work, and they've done it with no fault of themselves. And they, you know, they almost didn't care that you didn't see them or that you didn't know who they were, because they loved you. You know, they love you still. But they wish, like their wish, you know how we wish for things? Like we look at God and go be like, oh, I wish I had this car, or I wish whatever it is, right? We wish for different things every day. I know I do. But it's like you know, in that realm, like, you know, on the other side that way, their wishes probably look a lot different, right? And so this person's wish is like, I wish they would recognize me. I wish they could see me one time. And it may be something that the creator is granting for them as well. You know, I'm kind of getting that, like, their reward for getting you to the level will be they will be allowed to cross and like let you see them, even if it's like in a dream. You know, if you're of a higher chosen where you can actually do mediumship and feel and talk and see otherworldly entities, they'll just come straight to you. You don't have to be asleep for that, right? Like, I don't always have to be asleep to see the things I see, but all our gifts are different. Some of you can be powerful scryers, right? I'm seeing this eye looking through water. You can be very powerful scryers. So you may see them in a mirror, like how I saw my grandfather in the water. You may be able to look into glass or into a crystal ball, you know, that you're going to see this ancestor because they got you to where you are. And that their reward for that is God allowing them to reveal themselves to you. This is a beautiful ass message. I knew it was going to be spiritual. Don't be afraid, okay? Because I feel like it's the truth. Ace of Needles is the truth. 10 of Cups. I love this. And the Queen of Presents. Man, this is beautiful ass energy. But there is something saying like, don't be afraid, okay? I feel like it may shock you. Now, this could be fear of knowing what the truth is in itself. This might not be necessarily the fear of seeing this truth and seeing this person, you know, having them come to you. That may be another way. Oh my God, this is so nice. They may approach you through the guise of someone else, right? Like, for example, you're at a store and you're paying for something and they'll like come next to you and put something down that they're about to buy or something like that. And then, you know, you'll have like small words and it'll feel very kindred, very sweet. And then they're gone, you know? And then you're like, wait, did you see the person that was standing there? And everybody's like, no, nobody was there. It's just been you. You know, like, check the cameras and it's like, no one. Like, you were talking to yourself, except you weren't talking to yourself. You were talking to your ancestor. You understand? Like, it's something where, man, this is so powerful. I fucking love this. I'm getting goosebumps. Where, like, God is allowing them to come meet face to face with you because it's, it'll make them very happy. It'll make them very happy. Like, I'm about to cry. It's going to make them very happy. It's going to make you happy as well. Wow. Wow. Somebody's ancestor, man. They're like, they love you. They love you. They love you. Like, it's very evident that they love you. And it's crazy that y'all never met or never know each other, but you will. All right. That's the message. The message is that you will. And you're going to know when it's them. And just be, you know, open to receive it and feel blessed and favored because that's some divinely favored shit. All right. Love, light, and abundance.